nhớ rằng bây giờ chính cho nào vật gì cho tu lon sai lúa lúa chua cho chua tu cứ sai chua hu internet cứ giờ pe công ý bận chính lo chỉ pe công ý chế nên để pe chú kiến chính lo chỉ mi giờ cho phong giờ cứ tông ngô lúa sai sư rồi sai tại nó trường du trên bu chú sai là pe cho lên số tu pe tao tôi xin chỉ mình chỉ nó pe chân chính sang cái cú lu chế ở pe lu cho pe cho cứ cần tới ta không nó cần tới ta không nó chỉ cú yang ở pe lu e cú sang tao xí ổn thếแต่cho lu nó cú yang ha lu mi cả cho pe cho mi nhua lại nó chỉ mấy cho nào vật gì thằng mình rằng lúc gì ha cho có giờ hà lu mông mấy mặt xài cho là giờ nhua rồi po giờ hà lu mi cả xứ là rồi là mấy chuyện càng xa ta chỉ vàจะxa ta mấyจะxa ta cú yang ha cho lu cứยังการตัวกีแล้วเป็นสุกินเชงยังการตัวกีแล้วเป็นมงสุกิวันนึงเป็นจะคือสร้างลูชาสุกิว่าเมงลูตือชีจงเราทำไม่จังลูสีลูตือคือเจ้าสีเราสีจงสีเราทอมาขมุสีฮะจะเลยแกงเราเป็นอย่าตัวจันเชงซื้อเนี่ยจะเป็นชีชาชีปามงgiờ nó nên xưa nó chỉ giờ lù hà lù lỡ nó chỉยังmua khó lù yếu kế để thọ giảm lúc chịu vấn đề thọ cả chuyến đuยังchụp bê lúc xưa nó bê chỉ cả là chỉ bê chỉ cho chỉ khá mình chỉ nó là mà kiểu cho đó cái chế độ sáng tăng rồi cái chế độ nên做คณะกรรมการคือไม่จะมุ่งเชื่อนะตัวกูรู้มั่วเป็นรู้พูดไปจริง Let me start off with just something to ease our minds. And today's message, or today's really not a message, today's words are for the graduates and for the young people who are willing to listen and who just want something to ponder and to think and potentially use and or not use for your life as you move into this next chapter. There were these three priests and they were having a revival and they were up in the mountains, kind of like camping next to a stream. And, there was a senior priest, priest who's been there, medium length of time, and a very brand new priest. And they were sitting there and they were teaching, and it was going to be this whole day seminar retreat thing. And it's about 10 o'clock. And so, the priests were teaching that they thought, the students there are probably thirsty. And so, what, why don't we go and get them something to drink? So the head priest goes, you guys stay there. Let me go grab it. And across the stream were some picnic tables, and there were boxes, and you can see some drinks over there. But it's a running stream. And so the head priest stands up, takes a few steps back, walks right across the water, right on top of the water, goes across, grabs the case of water, walks right on top of the water back, hands the water out. People are looking, we're amazed. And about 30 minutes go by, and they probably need a snack. We've been here all morning. Let's go get them a snack to eat. So the second priest, sort of the midterm priest, he said, let me go get the bag of chips and let's hand those out. So he gets up, walks right on top of the water again, grabs his box full of potato chips, walks right back on top of the water and starts handing it out to the people. And the people are standing there amazed, going, oh no, what can be going on? These guys are truly experts in their field. Then it's about lunchtime. And now, people are hungry. So the young rookie pastor there goes, okay, let me go get the lunches. And the two older priests go, sure, go ahead. And everybody was waiting, and he gets up to the water and he starts walking, and he falls right in. And he's embarrassed. He gets himself back up and stands right on the shore, and he's like patting down his pants, and it's all wet. He goes, oh, maybe I'm not walking fast enough. So he takes 5-10 steps back, and he walks at a fast pace. He walks and he falls in the water again as he gets into the river, and he gets back out, and he's like, oh my goodness, fell down to his waist. He's even more embarrassed. He goes, oh, maybe they really I knew, so I better really get speed. So he gets back about a good 20 steps, and he starts in a full sprint, and he runs right on the water, and he falls right in. And he, wades in the water, comes back out. And he's like, oh my goodness, what's going on? And at that time, the senior priest leans over to the next priest and says, hey, should we tell him where the rocks are? You see, at first, we think that they're walking on water. But really, they're just walking because they knew where the rocks were. So they looked like they were walking on water to go to the other side. And this young priest looking at them did not pay attention, just being amazed at them walking on water. And you see, young people, life is like that. You see someone successful and you go, they must have walked on water. They must have had a big break. They must have, it must have been a miracle, or that they were so lucky. And I just want to tell you that most success in life is actually not a miracle at all, but just knowing where to step, knowing where to place your feet, and you will get across that water. And to those that have not gone, it will seem like a miracle. And today, you are the miracles, graduates. You are the miracles. And, each time I get to share a little bit, I want to start off by thanking my wife and my kids. And I know that this is at home speaking to all of you. And usually at a speaking engagement, my wife may go with me. And many times my kids don't get to go. But today, I guess they're all home, and they can kind of pop in the door and we can all speak to you together. But I just want to thank them always, appreciate the work that we all do together, and for them to allow me to do what I do. And I'm thankful to God for my wife, for being a strong support, being truly the backbone of my life, and for my children, for their understanding of their willingness to share their father and his time with the community and with the church and with others should they call for us to help. I also want to thank my parents, because in all I do, I remember them, and I thank them for being just the people who love me, and the people that, my hero, my heroine, my mom and my dad, and how they loved me and how they made me who I am. And I'm grateful for them, that they're still around and that I have time to be with them. And lastly, I thank all the graduates. And I want to mention all the graduates, from the preschooler to the 6th grader going into junior high, to the high schooler going to college, to the bachelor going into a master's degree, or a master's degree going into a PhD, or a PhD graduating, or if you're just getting a certificate to work in a trade, or if you're getting your license to practice in whatever field that you've been called or have a passion for, or just anyone who just maybe passed a entrance exam to go for a new job or get a promotion. Congratulations to you all. Job well done. I'm very proud of you. And God is good. Let me start off with this story. Something to think about. It's an old Chinese story, and it's an old Chinese proverb, and it's called Sai Weng. Sai Weng lost his horse. You see, Sai Weng had a prize horse, and he raised horses for a living. And one day he lost his most precious horse, sort of the main stallion of sort of his herd of horses. And after hearing of this, his neighbor felt sorry for him, and they came to comfort him, and they consoled him. But Sai Weng answered and said, well, how do we know that this is a good thing for me? After a while, the lost horse returned, and with when they returned, it came back with another beautiful horse. And the neighbor came over again and they congratulated Sai Weng on his good fortune. But Sai Weng simply answered, "How do we know that this is not a bad thing for me?" And one day, his son went out for a ride with the new horse. And the new horse was violent, wasn't trained yet, and threw him off, and his son broke his leg. The neighbors once again came over to express their concern and to get well to Sai Weng and his son. And Sai Weng just said, "Well, how do we know that this is not a good thing for me?" A year later, the emperor's army arrived in the village to recruit all the men who were able-bodied to fight in the war. But because of his son's injury, Sai Weng's son did not go to the war, and it spared him of certain death. So I just wanted to leave that with you, let you ponder that. And so I'm going to start off with, letting you know, graduates, that you're a gift to your parents. You're a gift to your parents. Proverbs chapter 127, verse 3-5, it reads, "Behold, children, you are a gift of the Lord. The fruit of the womb is a reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior, so are the children of one's youth. How blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. They will not be ashamed when they speak with their enemies in the gate." See, God considers you important. Your children, your parents consider you important. See, this is an awesome statement. God considers me important and considers you important. And if it moves you, it moves you. And if it doesn't, I can't do anything about that. You see, because it has to move you. It has to move you. God considered me important. So important that he sent his only begotten son to die for me. Me, little old me, that he saw that I was that important. And so I want you to think of that one. Let that sink in. And the day you can hear that God considers me important, that he loves me, and it kind of just moves you inside, it makes the hair on your body rise, and it fills you up with blood, then I know you've understood it. Then I know that that feeling is real. So first, remember that God considers you important. Second, you make your parents proud. You have Hmong parents, and Hmong parents, Asian parents, parents in general, but Hmong parents especially, love an educated child. So whatever degree you have, if you achieve educational, success on any level, Hmong parents are just sitting there going, "That's my boy, that's my daughter." And they walk around, with more pep in their step, and they go around and then they, some are more vocal, but some are just inside that they're proud that they have a daughter or a son that has finished at some level. And, today you are like the arrow in their hands when, they can shoot. And so just remember that. And, our Hmong parents don't show it. And so do not be unfair to your parents. Do not judge them according to the parents that you see on TV. That's not our parents. No. And if you do, well, I think that's unfair. I think that's a bit unfair. They grew up in a different world. They grew up with different circumstances. They grew up with parents who treated them differently as well. And so they probably won't come and tell you I love you. They probably won't hug you. But know that through their actions, at how you got to where you're at, it was they sacrificed it all, whether it's working, whether it's cooking, whether it's fixing a broken car, whether it's picking you up, whether it's buying things for you or working an extra job. They'll never complain and they'll never say, "Look what I did for you." But they're proud of you. Okay? So know that. And I just want to throw a congratulations to the parents. Thank you for doing such a great job with your children. They make the community proud. They make our community proud. And not only that, you raise great children that teachers love teaching Hmong kids. Hmong kids are some of the best kids. Ask any teacher around. White, black, orange, blue, whoever. You ask them, they want Hmong kids in their classes because they're good and they're respectful, okay? And really, you're the example of how to raise children, because I don't have a graduate. I have a graduate of high school, but I don't have a college graduate yet. And I still have a lot to learn from many of our Hmong parents who have done that job. So I'm looking to learn from you. Graduates, you have to see yourself truly as a gift. You are a gift. You are a gift, and your degree is worthy and is worth as much as anyone else's degree. So don't think that, I went to this school, they went to that school. My English is still not perfect. A degree is a degree is a degree. So be proud of it. Be proud of yourself and start honing your skills to do a good job. You're a gift to your family. You give prestige, not just to your biological family, but to your clan. You give honor to your entire clan. And as a community, you give honor to all of us, because now you add to the number of scholars, to the number of productive citizens in this nation that we are in. And you have to see yourself as a gift, and you're a gift to the Hmong community. And because you are a gift, you're a scholar now, okay? As the Hmong word is, you have to carry yourself as such. And you have to remember that when elders come to you, you better be kind to them. And when they come to you, be gracious. And when they come to you, be polite. Be respectful. Okay? That's your job. You have an expertise in what the field you went into, but I think you have a duty to every single elder who comes to you to show them common courtesy, to show them respect. And there's nothing more adorable than an educated person being humble and being respectable or respectful. So you keep that. You remember that, okay? You also have to be grateful how fortunate we are to be in America, to be grateful for this nation, to be grateful for what this nation has given us, and the ability to rise out of poverty, to be productive citizens, and to be able to provide a life that we did not have, that our children can have. But don't just provide them with what we did not have. Also provide our children with what our parents had, which is the inner character, and pass that along to your children too. So don't just go, my dad never gave me a car, I'll give my kid a car. No, you got to do that, yeah. But you also got to teach them to appreciate, teach them to respect, teach them to work hard, teach them to be good, solid people, salt of the earth people, godly people, respectful people, humble people. Teach them those qualities too. So our parents worked to give us things they never had, and we're giving what we never had to our children, but also give them what our parents had. And that's good character, that's good morals, that's good value system. And so give that, pass that along too. Don't ever forget that part, okay? And as I say about you knowing your worth, it reminds me of a story of this father. Before he died, he said to his son, he said, "This is a watch your grandfather gave me. It's more than 200 years old. But before I give it to you, go to the watch shop on the first street and tell him I want to sell it and see how much it is." So he gave the watch to his son. His son ran down. And he came back and he said, the watchmaker said he'll pay $5 for it because it's old. Father said, okay, then go to the coffee shop and goes ask the coffee shop, how much he'll pay for it, or if he'll pay more than $5. The father said, then he went and he said, no, he'll also just pay $5, maybe at the most $10. It's a super old watch. The father said, okay, now go to the museum, show them the watch. So the son went to the museum and he came back and the father said, they offered me $1 million for this watch, Dad. And the father replied, I want to let you know that the right place will always value you in the right way. So don't put yourself in the wrong place and get angry if they don't value you. Who knows your value is who appreciates you. Don't stay in a place that doesn't suit you. There's a couple things to learn in that story. And so, first of all, you have to know your value. And you have to go to a place that values or shows how much you're worth. And one of those places, young people, is home. Never forget the value you have for your home. Now, we'll talk about work and all that stuff. You have to decide where you're valued and how much they'll pay you. But at home, you're always $1 million. And a home is where you can always go. And so never forget how valuable you are to all of us in the home. We value you. And as you increase in whatever you do, your value only grows to us. It never decreases. And so just want to let you know we love you at home, or your parents love you. Okay? So I want to say, now that you have your degree, it's only the beginning. A couple things to keep in mind. Remain humble. Okay? Titles and degrees, they open doors for you. Yeah. But remain humble. It's all it is. It's just a title. Okay? It's all it is. It's just, you're still just a title of a city councilman, a title of an attorney, a title of a doctor, whatever it is, your teacher. It's just a title. You still have to look inside of you and see who you are. So remain humble. Remember where you came from. And also be grateful in being humble. You have to be grateful. Be grateful for how you got to where you got today. And so, because all you have, everything that you have today, and everything that you will accomplish and will have even as you grow, all of that is a gift from God. Job said it, right? Naked I came from my mother's womb. Naked I shall return. We came with nothing. So everything we have is truly a gift from God. Your degree, your material possessions, the people around you, that's a blessing from God. Remember that and be grateful. So remain humble. Second, develop good habits. So degrees, titles, they open doors, but have good habits. Xyoo, Mong say that, okay? Learn to be good. Learn to be good. Keep your public profile clean and wholesome. So that means social media. Stay away from posts that paint you in a bad light. Don't post yourself where it can be interpreted negatively, because everything is perception. And so you are precious to us. And so you have to help us preserve that. So in other words, don't go holding a beer and taking a photo on Facebook. I don't knock anyone, but I'm just saying to all you young graduates, be aware of that. So develop good habits. And as you are moving into adulthood and having money to be able to purchase things, use your money wisely. Don't develop bad habits with the money that you will be blessed with and with what you can purchase. And so I want to give a warning here to just keep your Facebook profile as clean as possible, because it stays forever. And second, be aware of drugs and alcohol. And don't the Bible warns us, don't get drunk with wine. Be very careful of getting into that habit and making it where it is destructive. It doesn't say don't drink, it just says don't get drunk with wine. So take that tidbit. Many of you have a lot of potential, so I want you to keep that in mind. Next, keep learning. Get to know people. Get to know people everywhere, anywhere. Get to know people who think different than you. Get to know those who are better than you. Get to know those who are smarter than you, richer than you, wiser than you, funnier than you, happier than you, sadder than you, poorer than you. Okay? Those who are physically more stronger than you, those who are physically weaker than you. Get to know everyone. So that way you are much more understanding, and you can understand the perspectives of those in different situations. So challenge yourself. Get away from your comfort zone, away from all the comfy friends that you have. Don't let them go. But I'm just saying, challenge yourself. Go talk to someone who thinks totally different. Try to understand why they believe what they believe. I think that's important. And I think Jesus was a prime example of that. He associated with everyone. He was wise. He was with the tax collector to the poor. He was willing to touch the sick and the people with leprosy, and he was willing to associate with those who were scholarly. And he met with everyone. Okay, and in keeping learning, getting to know people, network, meet people, and always try to leave an impression. Have your elevator speech down of who you are, what you're good at, and be able to share that on a whim. Whoever you meet, just say, "This is who I am. Nice to meet you." And the next thing with regards to keep learning, and this is important, and anyone who is not Hmong, I think it applies to you, whatever race you are, whatever ethnicity you are. So to all of us, remember that you are Hmong. Know your heritage. Know where you came from. Know your parents. Know your in-laws. Know your mom's side to your dad's side. You're a scholar early in your field. Now you need to become a scholar in your family, in your lineage, who you are, how you are, what that last name means, what mom's last name means, okay? Now, in knowing who you are, I'm going to challenge a lot of you. And it's going to be hard. Go learn to read, write, and speak your language. Hmong, here, because I'm Hmong, so this is to my congregation at church. Learn to speak it well. Learn to speak it clear. And learn the language. Just go do it. You're a college graduate of whatever degree you have. You spent 4 years learning it. It's worth it. Go learn it. And then go learn your customs and the clothing. Go see what style clothing mom wears, style clothing dad wears, which part of Laos they came to, what type of Hmong they are, how they dress, how they tie, their headband to, the jewelry they wear, the type of dress they wear. And keep it and cherish that. Because if we don't, it's gone. So we have to learn that. Hmong have a saying, so learn from your parents. They're still the most important thing. There can be 9 or 10 of us, but one mom, one dad outweighs all that. And lastly, we're just knowing your heritage, just know your family history. And I said that already. So fathers want to know, your father and your mother want to know that my child will carry on the legacy of this family. And we have to show them we can, okay? Another thing about keep learning, grow in love. Go find someone to love, get married, and have kids. Simple. Now you have your career done, find love. Don't wait too long. You don't have kids when you're too long. That's not a Hmong belief, trust me. And so I'll leave that at that. So just do that. And lastly, most important about learning, grow in your relationship with the Heavenly Father, with God. How sad it would be if you got a PhD, you got a master's degree in whatever field you were in, and in the end, you know nothing about God. You know nothing about your Creator. There's a story about this sailor, and there's a sea captain. He's retired, and he's a skipper of a boat, and he takes people on day trips, kind of like Gilligan's Island. Okay, and on one of the trips, the boat was full of young people. They laughed because the old captain, they saw him and he was praying before sailing out on the boat. He was praying. They laughed at him because, the day was fine and the sea was calm. So they were just laughing. Why was he praying? However, as it went along, when the storm started, wind started blowing and the boat became, pitching violently. And all the young people were terrified. And they came to the captain and they said, "Captain, come here and join us in prayer." The captain replied, "I say my prayers when it's calm. When it's rough, I attend to my ship." What does that mean? This is the calm time in your life. You've graduated, you're looking for a job, you don't have many distractions, not many at all. Take time to learn and know God. So that way, when the trials and tribulations of life hit you, you know how to handle it. You need God when it's calm, when it's not rough yet. You need to develop that relationship, when it's not tough. So that when it's tough, your faith is already solid. And in the end, one day we're all going to have to meet our Creator. And on that day, what will Jesus say? And my hope for all of you is that He'll say, well done, my good and faithful servant. I remember Jim, what's his name? The coach of the San Francisco 49ers, Jim Harbaugh. He played on the Michigan Wolverines, and they won the national championship, and they went to Coach Bo Schembechler and Schembechler. And they said, Coach, are you proud of us? Weren't we like men out there? And you know what Coach said to them? I'll know that you have succeeded or that you were men when I know that you take care of each other, that you did not divorce, that you did not turn down the needy, that you held good jobs and you helped the needy. In other words, victory is not this diploma, young people. Victory is living a life worthy of our calling from the Master. Okay. Couple thoughts in the end. Find your purpose in life. You have to find it. You have your degree now. And some of us will do a job with our degree in that field, and some of us will find out we were called for something else. But find it. Find your passion and go live it. Because without passion, you're going to give up. And so you can't give up. And second thing another thing to remember is treasure time. Time is very short. I always see that life is an incline. It just goes up. And if you stop, you slide back. So you have to keep moving up. Time is important, and time is something you have to remember. I want to read to you the words of Steve Jobs, and I think Steve Jobs is the creator of Apple computers, the creator of the iPhone, one of the richest men in the world, but he died pretty young overall. And he said this, after he discovered he would not live anymore because he had cancer, and it was something he would not be able to overcome. And I just want you to listen. It says, I reached the pinnacle of success in the business world. In others' eyes, my life is an epitome of success. However, aside from work, I have little joy. In the end, wealth is only a fact of life that I am accustomed to. At this moment, lying on the sickbed and recalling my whole life, I realized that all the recognition and wealth that I took so much pride in have paled and become meaningless in the face of impending death. In the darkness, I look at the green lights from the life-supporting machines, and I hear the humming mechanical sounds. I can feel the breath of God. I can feel the breath of God, of the God of death, drawing closer. Now I know when we have accumulated sufficient wealth to last our lifetime, we should pursue other matters that are unrelated to wealth. Should be something that is more important, perhaps relationships, perhaps art, perhaps a dream from younger days. Non-stop pursuing of wealth will only turn a person into a twisted being just like me. God gave us the senses to let us feel the love in everyone's heart, not the illusions brought about by wealth. The wealth that I have won in my life I cannot bring with me. What I can bring is only the memories precipitated by love. That's the true riches which will follow you, accompany you, give you strength and light to go on. Love can travel 1,000 miles. Life has no limit. Go where you want to go. Reach the height you want to reach. It is all in your heart and in your hands. What is the most expensive bed in the world? Sick bed. Hospital bed. You can employ someone to drive for you, make money for you, but you cannot have someone to bear the sickness for you. Material things that are lost can be found, but there's one thing that can never be found when it is lost, and that's life. When a person goes into the operating room, he will realize that there's one book he has yet to finish reading. Book of Healthy Life. Whatever stage in life we are right now, what time We will face the day when the curtain comes down. Treasure love for your family. Love your spouse. Love your friends. Treat yourself well. Cherish others. See, young people, life is hard. So don't quit. And if you don't find your why in life, your purpose in life, your passion in life, you are going to quit. Thomas Edison said, many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. So don't give up. You've accomplished one thing. However hard life will become, you will be able to overcome it and accomplish it as well. Our parents did not give up. They made it to America. They left Laos. Hmong did not give up. Hmong people, we fought in every country we went to. We succeeded. You cannot quit. Keep going. And wherever you are, always do your best. Always do your best. And Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. King, I think he said it best. And he said, when you discover what you're going to be in life, set out to do it as if God Almighty called you at this particular moment in history to do it. If it falls on your lot to be a street sweeper, sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Leontine Price sings for the Metropolitan Opera. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper who swept well. If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a scrub in the valley, but be the best little scrub on the side of the hill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best, whatever you are. Don't just aspire to make a living, young people. Aspire to make a difference. Remember that. In conclusion, I just want to say congratulations. I'm happy for you and I'm proud of you. Now go and make us proud. But most important, go and make God proud. Go and make God proud. Be that child who He has blessed with all these skills and all these talents. Thank you. God bless you all. God bless you all.